Now, if we want to show this is how you can use your movable template, here you'll see that there is no window. If you look over in our layers palette, you'll see the background, and it is a solid blue. There is no cutout little windows like you would see in this spot. You see how there's like little cutout windows there? On the movable one, we actually make our changes to these squares. We add the shadows to the squares, etc. So let's just kind of do the same thing. I'm going to click and drag my photos over. And, woo, there's Cassidy. Hello. She's so cute. And we're going to just kind of resize that and pull it up. Resize it a little bit more. Let's clip it in there and see where we're at. Okay, I need to move her above my photo 1. I'm going to press the Alt key, click. There she is. We'll just kind of resize it just a little bit more. There we go. Let's go grab Jordan. Put it in there. Let's make her a little bit bigger. And I need to make sure she's above photo 2 because that's the square we're working with. And in my layers palette, you can see over here, I'm going to click Alt. And there she is. And let's go get Zach. Click and drag. Again, I'm in the movable template. And he's way up at the top. Let's move him down just above photo 3. Alt, click, and there you go. Now, when you look at this, it just looks, you know, kind of like the same old storyboard templates. You know, they're just there. You can't just add a shadow to the background because it's not going to make those turn into little windows. So what we need to do is we're going to click on the square and we're going to add a shadow to the square. So you can see over here in my layers palette, I'm on the photo 1 square. I'm going to go to my FX and I'm going to add an inner shadow. And let me just move this over here so we can see what we're doing. Let's increase the distance and we're going to increase the size. And you can see it's kind of getting dark in there. And I don't want it up at 75. Let's put it back down to about 40. And it's kind of hard to tell on Cassidy. So let's do Jordan's now. Again, we're going to click on the photo part. So we want the photo 2 layer. Go to FX. Go to inner shadow. And I'm going to, again, increase the distance, increase the size, and take down my opacity. And you can see how much, you know, this one's a little bit easier to see that difference because of the background that's there. And say I want to just keep this as my default. I can click on the Make Default so that the next time I open it, so we'll say, okay, next time I open it, when I go to do Zach, I'm going to click on Photo 3, go to FX, go to Inner Shadow. You can see it remembers my settings from the last time that I used it. So they're already set exactly where I want them. But say, for example, just to show you, I'm going to click, uncheck Global Light. I'm going to move it around, and you can see that the direction of my shadow is now in the lower right corner. So we're going to go ahead and put it back up to about where it was and click OK. So now you can see how that gives you the same effect as using a fixed template, but you have to add a shadow to each individual square. And like I say, it can be easy on something like this, but when you're working with 12 windows, maybe you don't want to worry about that. That's why I like variety. They're both there, so you can do them both ways. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of bring up the effects buttons over here in my layers palette, just so that I don't have to see them down there. What we're going to do next is show you that now, if you want, we can select these items and maybe move them down to the center. So, you know, I'm just going to go through and select these layers of my photos. I'm selecting both the photo layer, the photo square layer, and the photo layer itself. And I'm just going to use the little nudge tool. I'm pressing Shift and the down arrow key. And looks like I'm about in the middle right there. And I'm done. So now those you can see, you can move them, position them wherever you want in your little template window. And say, for example, I don't want the outside dash, maybe I want the inside scribble. It's in the spot where it was to begin with, so what we're going to have to do is just click on that and just move it down as well. And so now it's in the center. And that's how you work with the movable templates. Again, you're basically doing the same thing as the fixed template. You are going to clip your photos to each of those photo layers, the 1, 2, 3, numbered squares. That's where you will always clip your photos. But on the fixed one, it just stays like it is. It just makes it easy. If you want the movable, it's lovely because you can change the position of your squares. You can change the position of your scribble line, or whatever kind of line you have on there. You just have to add your shadows differently. So now if we wanted to change our background, all we'd need to do is we'd come over here to our background layer and click on it so we know where we are. You can see it's been selected here. And we're going to add that mustard paper from the Love Every Little Thing kit and click on it, drag it over to our movable template and drop it down. And as you can see, it just drops right in over the blue layer. You can see there says background and then it says the layer 4, which is the mustard layer. And it's there. The shadows are there. Everything is just like it was, like we had done it with the blue background, only we just dropped in our background paper. So that about sums it up. That's how you can use both the fixed and the movable templates. And I hope this helps you out, and thanks for stopping by.